Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for cannabis.
Stop arresting patients! Stop arresting patients! Stop arresting patients!
Welcome to CMMNJ TV.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
I'm Ken Walski, Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. The mission of our organization is to educate the public about the benefits of marijuana. Marijuana is a safe, effective, and inexpensive therapeutic agent for a wide variety of diseases, symptoms, and conditions. No patient should suffer needlessly without it, and no patient should ever go to jail for following the advice of a doctor. Join us and learn more about the exciting science of medical marijuana. I'm Ken Walski, Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. I'm here in the Princeton Community TV studios today with Nick Mellis, who's on the board of CMMNJ and board of Normal New Jersey. Welcome,
That's right.
Nick.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And we have via Skype Mary Jane from Grannies for Grass. Welcome,
Hi.
Mary Jane.
Hi, I'm here in Michigan. I'm Executive Director of Chapters for Grannies for Grass.
And do you have a chapter here in New Jersey?
Yes, we do. We're in all 50 states. We're in British Columbia. We have 61 chapters altogether. One is in Australia. 9 are in Canada and its provinces, and 50 here.
Great. Now, are you a corporation? Are you Are you an actual corporation, or are you a loose association of organization?
We are a non-profit. We're not incorporated. We
Okay.
haven't gotten to that yet. We grew so quickly over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Really hasn't been time to do things like
Yeah.
set up for non-profit status and incorporate.
So, how did you get started, Mary Jane?
I actually heard about Grannies for Grass from a friend of mine, Marcus Dunn. He's in Oklahoma. And we had started messaging back and forth on Facebook when we both became fans of a show called Weed Country. We joined a group, and in that group, you were able to access CBD information about growing. It was invaluable to someone like me who really didn't know a lot about cannabis or its attributes.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that show, Weed Country. I joined the group, met Marcus, and he told me about a group in Canada called Grannies for Grass and how they were formed over a living room conversation between Michael and his mother. She was on a lot of pharmaceuticals for various ailments and was looking for a way to escape the side effects of pharma. Because as we all know, the side effects can be hideous. I have some facial tics and involuntary tremors associated with a lot of medications I used to be on. So Marcus told me about Grannies. I heard they were started in their living room in this unique way. Michael's mom wanted to try something other than pills and didn't want to smoke though. So it was suggested concentrate in the form of butter be put in some medibles, which are, for people who don't know, cookies or cakes or whatnot made using infused canna butter, which is just butter that's been medicated. Mm-hmm. So that's how I heard about it, and I got started in 2009, and we've really grown. I think we had 6 chapters then, and now we have 61. So we've grown really fast.
That's terrific.
Amazing story. That's terrific. Now, you don't actually have to be a granny, I take it, to belong to this.
No, people ranging in age from little ones. I consider my grandbabies to be little grandbabies for grass.
That's cute.
And we have teenagers, then people in their 20s, people in their 40s, really able to connect with people in a unique way because grandmas have good advice. Everybody loves their grandma. Yeah. And we approach people on a very open basis. We help them connect with any groups they might need to connect with for information. Because as I told you, that's how I got started, by joining a group associated with a show I had seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was so amazing to me how approachable some people are. The Jensens who started Grannies for Grass are like that. They're so approachable. I was looking for a way to give back. I have a schizophrenic son, and we found right from the onset that cannabis was a godsend. The medications they gave him caused terrible dystonia, which is where you have involuntary muscle movements where your muscles actually try to go in the opposite way that's intended. Very, very painful and embarrassing for him. He couldn't stand still. So the psychotic aspect was halted by the pharma, but it caused a whole slew of other issues, which cannabis addressed 100%. It stopped the dystonia, it helped his appetite, it helped him to socialize, he got his humor back, and my son is this amazing young man. He's 24, and he's amazing. He has an IQ that's 141. Wow. And he's so gifted,
That's
and cannabis is helping him to come back. It's incredible. So CBD is an antipsychotic by itself.
Right.
So I wanted to find out how to grow CBD for my son, and these groups helped me with that. Tawny Booten and Mike Booten were invaluable resources to me. I want to thank them publicly from the bottom of my heart. I've never felt such heartfelt support from people as I got from them, and other people in the community. Kirk Reed, he's Captain Kirk in Michigan. He's been an invaluable resource. These are people who have some reach and some clout and information that your average mom like me didn't have.
Yeah.
So connecting with them and watching that show, seeing what could be done with CBD, I thought to myself, I'm going to research it. Found out it was an antipsychotic, and it's been a godsend to Jeremy. That's my son, and so I'm really grateful to those people. I wish I could list them all.
Yeah.
It would take all day, though.
It really is amazing what you're saying, Mary Jane. You know, for decades, the federal government has been saying that marijuana makes you crazy, and you know that it exacerbates mental illness, and it can precipitate a psychotic crisis. You know, but the reality is that that some of the cannabinoids have been shown to have antipsychotic properties, like you mentioned. CBD really is. It can work to counteract the psychotic symptoms of even schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. So you know, it really is an amazing plant that that we're just really beginning to understand the emerging science of, and all the potential uses of marijuana for. So, but now, how do you communicate mostly through Facebook or other ways?
Do you table at events?
Yes, I table at events. We've got events here in Michigan. There's events, as you guys know, all over the world. So it's becoming less of a closeted issue. I would really hope that people will start talking more about the closeted issues with cannabis, your mental health issues. No one wants to talk about. The cannabis can help you with depression and stuff. People have been brainwashed for so long thinking that, as you said, that it causes mental health issues, and it doesn't. So that's kind of my focus when I'm tabling at events, is to let people know that it does work as an antipsychotic and an antidepressant. Mm-hmm. And it's just a wonderful medicine. I have a disease called systemic sclerosis, and it has 5 components, none of which are any fun. Fibromyalgia, just a bunch of stuff, ranging from pain to severe hot flashes to uncontrollable body movements and inability to eat. Now, cannabis addresses every one of those. The CBD addresses the movement. The munchies help me to keep my weight up, which has been a real struggle for me. I just love this plant in more ways than the intoxicating effect of it.
Sure,
I guess that's the point.
Absolutely.
I get so much joy from the plant itself. I grow a CBD plant for my son, and the light, the sounds in the room, the smell, particularly in the winter. I get like a seasonal affective disorder. I think we all do in the colder states. And it's wonderful to go in that room and smell the fresh plant life and feel that sunshine replicant from the lights. It's wonderful in so many other ways. And not the least of which is being able to connect with people like you guys, just in a open dialogue, and feel like someone's listening and cares, you know?
Well, we certainly do that. What's the status of a medical marijuana program in the state of Michigan? Do you have one?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. You know, actually, I was involved in helping to develop some of the regulations, or at least I had some input in Michigan's medical marijuana law. I think we passed in 2010 here in New Jersey, Mary Jane, and I think you must have passed in like 8 or 9, because you were the state just before us to pass the medical marijuana law. So how's that program working out there?
From the legal aspect, it's really not working that great. Patients are still being arrested. Steve and Maria Green are a perfect example. They were legal growers. They were arrested. The police took everything they had and then came for their children. And although they did win the case in court, we are still struggling to get medical marijuana patients recognized as patients. Too many people still perceive them as closeted drug dealers or someone trying to get away with something. We have no concentrate laws in Michigan. If you have a cookie in Michigan and that cookie is medicated and weighs, let's say 12 ounces, you get charged with possession of 12 ounces of cannabis in Michigan.
Wow,
you can't have
terrible.
butter. Yeah, and for someone like me, that's what me and my elderly group like, the concentrates, even the dabs, which is, the super concentrated.
Right.
But the cookies and whatnot, it's what Granny's was how Granny's got its inception going, was from someone understanding that you didn't have to smoke it. And Michael Dusso Jensen and Diane Marie Jensen are perfect examples of people standing up for their family and saying, we need concentrates, and we need someone to do that in Michigan. I'm hoping Granny's can be a part of that, standing up for that law that you helped write. And by the way, it's an amazing law in its entirety. The way it was written, one would think they wouldn't be able to maneuver in there and start charging people with crimes.
Right.
It's one of the best written pieces of legislation as far as cannabis that I've seen, and I've looked at a lot of them. Yeah, we can't have concentrates here. We can't pass a joint. That's considered patient-to-patient transfer, which is a crime in Michigan. What's the other aspect of it? It's just the law the way it's written is not being enforced.
Yeah, but it does allow for home cultivation. Qualified patients can grow their own supply of marijuana. You can grow a certain number of plants, Mary Jane?
Yes, you can grow 12 plants here.
12 plants.
For each patient, and we can have 5 patients plus oneself for a total of, I think it's 72 is the maximum that people can have. Now, that being said, Michigan's a wonderful place to grow outside, but you have to grow in a way where no one can see your plants.
Right. Because
I guess just seeing them might corrupt some.
People turn into a pillar of salt or something.
Exactly. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I'm a Christian and a cannabis proponent, so that's an interesting point of it too. God gave us the plant, and the world's fighting against it.
Well, there was just a little story. There was a Texas legislator, a Republican, of course, down there, and he was born again, and he wanted to pass a legalized marijuana law in Texas based on the Bible. So he quoted scripture as the basis for legalizing marijuana. Unfortunately, none of the other Republicans, seen it the same way and voted the bill down. But it's a good start. It's a certain type of people that we need to reach out to, and win over, and have them understand that there's no harm involved in this. In fact, I would imagine it would enhance your Christianity, since it enhances practically everything else.
Yeah. And
That is
obviously,
an excellent point.
it's a God-given plant. So,
Yep.
now in Michigan, though, Mary Jane, do you have to register with the state of Michigan in order to be a legal patient? And how difficult is it to find a doctor to? Can any doctor recommend marijuana for you?
Any doctor can, but I haven't found, but in my experience, 3 that will. And those are 2 patients. One's a neurosurgeon. I know he recommended it for my friend who had brain cancer, and 2 other doctors. But for the most part, there are many places you can go and be certified. They're not, you don't necessarily get your certification from your doctor, though I don't see physicians doing that yet in Michigan. But there are plenty of certification centers. Some we don't even require medical records. They establish a relationship with you based on your initial visit, and then you have to come back so that you've established. In Michigan, it's critical because of a decision. I think it was the Tuttle decision. It set precedent in Michigan as far as that. So it's a minefield here for growers.
Yeah.
Sure.
But so there's no place where you can legally go and buy it. Then you need to either grow it yourself or be part of a little collective, as you're describing, to grow the marijuana.
Dispensaries are illegal in Michigan, but I'm in the Metro Detroit area, and we have 156 in the Metro Detroit area. So it's not a problem finding it.
You have 156 dispensaries, illegal dispensaries.
Dispensaries, yes,
in
yes.
Detroit.
So although it's illegal, people are womaning up, so to speak.
Is there such a thing?
Up.
Is there such a thing as a caregiver status? Can you register as a caregiver for someone?
Yes, there is in Michigan. You can either be your own caregiver or you can be a caregiver for up to 5 patients. So there is caregiver status in Michigan. Right now, there are several bills coming up in 2016. Several, I think they're called petitions, anyways, it's going on the ballot for legalization in 2016.
Excellent.
And we've got several groups that have several petitions, 2 of which are a repeal group. They're trying to go for the complete repeal of cannabis prohibition. Since from its inception, it's just been bullying from the rich.
Sure.
So they're trying to find a way to repeal. That being said, there's another group that's trying to legalize, and they had gone for repeal years ago and found that they could get no traction with people. The idea of going from it being this reefer madness drug to just having it out in your yard, it seems to be too big of a leap. So people in Michigan like Jamie Lowell and some of our big leaders are trying to set up, have set up a petition and are gathering signatures to legalize it, and it would be alongside our medical marijuana program. Now, as long as they left the medical marijuana program alone, I'm fine with that. But anybody that comes from my son's plants, I'm going to have an issue with. And there is a group in Michigan, I can't remember their name, but anyways, they're the MRC. They want to completely remove the medical marijuana program and put in its place a form of legalization where them and their buddies could control it from where it's grown. You would have to be licensed to grow, and then if you were licensed to grow, you couldn't be licensed to distribute. Only people who were registered with some transportation department would be able to move a joint from point A to point B. So it's just crazy how much they're trying to just take away our grow rights and our medical marijuana program is what they're trying to do. Yeah. They've twisted it and misshapen it so bad that a lot of people are almost at the point that they would be willing to let it go for legalization, and I think that's a mistake. I think we need to retain our rights to grow, because as you spoke of earlier, we need whole plant therapy, and as we discussed too, there's a healing aspect just in the growing of the plant.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
best petitions I see in Michigan right now are Michigan Legalize, and then there's two groups that are going for repeal, which is Stephen Jacob Lull's group and Tim Locke's group. And we're going to have a debate about that in Michigan shortly, so that we can all figure out what's going to be on that ballot. We don't want a situation with a cannabis control commission like the Liquor Control Commission. That's not going to work for my son. He needs 4 grams of cannabis a day to control his dystonia, which is that seizure type activity, as well as the other benefits. But, you know, we can't give up our grow rights. I'll leave Michigan personally. I won't stay here and be in a state where I can't provide for him. I've seen too much. I know too much now.
Right. Well, unfortunately here in New Jersey, we've had people actually had to leave the state in order to protect their children and go to Colorado, where they can access the various strains that will help children with their seizures and other assorted afflictions. And
you mentioned earlier Jenny Storms. She was a New Jersey woman here. She wasn't a grandmother, but she was the mother of Jackson Storms, who was a seizure patient. And she fled New Jersey to go to Colorado to have access to the medicine that Jackson needs, because it simply wasn't available here in New Jersey, despite the fact that we have a medical marijuana law. And we even passed a law that said it would be, the appropriate form of marijuana, high CBD marijuana, in the appropriate type of marijuana, which is an oil base for her son. But still, that was never available here in New Jersey. So, many states are struggling with these types of issues. And as you go on to broader legalization, you really have to be careful, and you want to protect the medical marijuana rights, the rights of medical marijuana patients like yourself and your son, Mary Jane. That really is important. You don't want the devil really is in the details of how the regulations come about to legalize marijuana. We're certainly looking at that great support for broader reform in this area, but we have to be careful not to protect your rights, to protect the rights of individual patients who are using it and have access to it already. Right.
You've got another amazing activist there, Rowan Capers. She's done some pretty amazing things too, getting the word out.
We've had her right here in this studio talking, and she's been involved with Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey and a number of our events. Yeah, we're very happy to know Rowan, and I hope she's doing well as well.
You can find all of our shows actually archived on YouTube. So for those out there who may be viewing this on Princeton TV, you can go on YouTube and also look us up and be able to check out all the other shows we've done. There's always.
We are so grateful to you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I found your site. It's a warehouse of information, a wealth of information, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
We take it very seriously here in New Jersey, so we want to make sure that all the most up-to-date and accurate information is listed on that site.
Yeah. Now, do you have a website for Grannies for Grass?
Yes, we do. It's still under construction, but you can still access parts of it. You can see the direction it's going. It should be finished shortly. Diane and Michael are, he's Dads for Marijuana. Him and Michael Puff Dog Thomas founded Dads for Marijuana, and then Diane Marie Jensen, that's Michael's wife. She is the International Women's Cannabis Coalition. Her and Candace Junkin co-founded that after they resigned from Moms for Marijuana. Diane used to be on the board for Moms for Marijuana. So there's some really experienced, dedicated people just like you guys. And oh, Lord, I am so grateful that people like you guys are out there.
Well, you certainly are important as well. You're on the front lines. Being a medicated user and defending your grandson the way you are, you should be very proud of yourself.
My son.
Yeah.
Your son, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, his name's Jeremy. He's amazing. It's my pleasure to be able to do something like this for him. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, making that decision to get cannabis for him. Because, everybody's chirping in your ear, it's bad, but I I had witnessed how when his friends would get it for him, it helped so much. So the proof was right in front of me. I couldn't not accept it.
Yeah, sure. How old is Jeremy? Mary Jane, how old is Jeremy?
I'm sorry, he was born in 89.
89, okay.
Yeah, so he's 20. I said he was 24. He's 26. I'm terrible. I'm going to blame it on the sclerosis.
That's great.
All right. Well, we're so happy that you're doing what you're doing there, Mary Jane, in Michigan. And we're so happy that you were able to come on CMMNJ TV today and be a part of our episode. So thank you so much. But don't hang up. We need you to say a few more things.
We have a favor to ask.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything I can do.
Mary Jane, this is Lefty Grimes. How are you?
Hi, Sativa Cross.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm so glad to see
I
you.
was trying to think of your name to mention you, and all I could think of was Sativa Cross.
That's good enough. That's good enough. Can you do me a favor? Can you say every 42 seconds somebody is arrested for cannabis?
Absolutely. Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for cannabis.
For more information about the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey, join us at our free public meetings on the second Tuesday of every month at the Lawrence Township Library in Mercer County, New Jersey, from 7 to 9 p.m. Snacks are served and all are welcome. Remember, every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana, Lefty. And you're not one of them.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for cannabis.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone's arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Cada 42 segundos está uno arrestado por marihuana.
Every 42 seconds, somebody is arrested for...
Every 42 seconds, someone in this country is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana.
Every 42 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana. It could be you.